Today we are going to make a savory and sweet chiffon cake paired with taro filling and pork floss. Pork floss, also known as肉松, is a dehydrated shredded meat product with a light fluffy and cotton-like texture. You can get these in most Asian grocery store or online. If this is too out of your comfort zone, you can use bacon bits instead. Let's get started. Let's start by making the taro root paste. Cut taro root into small cubes. You'll need 250 grams of taro root. I understand that it's very hard to measure exactly how much taro you get when you buy the taro root. The good news is you can certainly make more of the taro root paste. You can simply adjust the sugar, milk, butter as needed if you have more taro root. And if you make more paste than what the cake needs, you can always eat it with bread or just by itself. Steam on high heat until they're softened, about 30 minutes. When they're done, you can easily smash it with a chopstick or fork. Once they are softened, transfer them into a food processor. Add sugar, soften butter. Now add the milk. Don't pour in all the milk at once just in case the paste gets too watery. Add in about 2/3 of it. Check on the consistency. If it's too thick, then add a little bit more milk. This is also when you can taste and see if it's sweet enough. You can add more sugar if you prefer sweeter. This looks about right. It's smooth, easily spread out, but not runny. Don't blend it too fine. You want to keep some tiny pieces of taro in there for a better texture. Now we'll make the cake. First, mix the oil and flour. Stir until all well combined. First, combining the oil and flour is simple and won't develop gluten. You can stir it any way you want, and you don't have to sieve the flour neither. Now add the milk and egg yolks. Stir until all well combined. Now let's whip the egg whites. Add cream of tartar to the egg whites and beat on high speed. Cream of tartar can stabilize the meringue. If you don't have it, you can add a small teaspoon of lemon juice or vinegar instead. You can also use a stand mixer for this. Both methods will work just fine. When you see big bubbles forming, add 1/3 of the sugar. Continue to beat on high speed. When the foam becomes finer and silkier, you can add another 1/3 of the sugar. Continue to beat on high speed. The foam will continue to get silkier and you will start to see some texture lines or trails. At this point, you can add the remaining sugar and beat on medium-high speed. Continue beating until you see some stiff peaks. After lifting the whisk, the meringue is stable and firm and the peak will not drip. Scoop about 1/3 of the egg whites to the batter and fold it in gently. This is to line in the batter initially and prepare it for the rest of the egg whites. Once it's mixed well, change to a spatula and pour it into the egg whites. Continue to fold gently until it's all combined. Repeat this movement until the batter is homogeneous. Don't overdo it. Transfer the batter into the pan immediately. Use something flat to smooth out the batter so it will spread out evenly in the pan. Tap this a couple of times to get rid of the big bubbles. Now sprinkle the spring onion and pork floss all over it. Put this in the preheated oven and bake at 320 degrees for 30 minutes. Then increase the temperature to 340 degrees for 5 to 8 minutes. I say 5 to 8 minutes because it really depends on the oven you're using. The thing we're looking for the final 5 to 8 minutes is for the top of the cake to get darker in color. This is to make sure once it's cool, the top of the cake is not going to be sticky and wet. So keep an eye on it for the final 5 to 8 minutes. Once it's out of the oven, slide the cake onto a cooling rack and let it cool off. After about 10 minutes, flip the cake over, peel off the parchment paper. Now place a clean piece of parchment paper on there and let it continue to cool. We just want to loosen the parchment paper at this point. It will take a couple of hours for the cake to cool completely. Now that the cake is cool, trim off the edges and cut it in half. Flip this one over. Now apply the taro root paste. Since the paste is thick and the cake is very light and airy, it's easier to use a piping bag for this job. Once evenly spread, lay the other layer of cake on there. Then slice it into the size you like. And this is now completed. Thanks so much for watching.